going to finally talk about Nosferatu. It's been a couple of weeks since I've seen it Christmas Day with the not so lovely theater experience, but yeah, I think I'm ready to talk about it. It's directed by Robert Eggers, starring Bill Skarsgård, Willem Dafoe, Lily Rose Depp, and Nicholas Hoult. In the 1830s, estate agent Thomas Hunter travels to Transylvania for a fateful meeting with Count Orlok, a prospective client. In his absence, Hunter's new bride, Ellen, is left under the care of their friends, Frederick and Anna Harding. Plagued by horrific visions and an increasing sense of dread, Ellen soon encounters an evil force that's far beyond her control. Nosferatu is probably one of my most anticipated movies of the year. Robert Eggers, he hits it out of the park every time. The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman. He's probably one of the top horror directors working today. He's definitely got a style of his own among other horror directors. And that's one thing I have to really give it to him. I loved the first half of this film. The vibes, the tone were just perfect. When the carriage comes with no rider up to Nicholas Hoult's character, and there's like drunk gypsies laughing at him, and then they like kill a fucking vampire, and it's just wild. I was just really digging the vibes at first opening part of the movie. And overall, I think out of all the movies I saw this year, this had like best ensemble performance. Like everyone was fantastic in this. I said Demi Moore is probably the best acting I've seen this year with The Substance, which still holds true, but I'm just talking about the entire cast was just on their A game. Lily Rose Depp, really, I haven't seen her anything. I've watched The Idol. It was terrible, but she really put it all out there for this performance. It's almost like she's possessed in a way in this movie. Earlier in the year, there have been other sort of horror movies, Immaculate and The First Omen, and The First Omen had like great possession performance in it. Similar with Lily Rose Depp here. She goes all out with the physical performance of everything that she's going through. It's just fantastic. And speaking of the first part, Nicholas Hoult was fantastic too. As a guy who's like meeting Orlok for the first time, he's just crippled with fear. And Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok was just, he loses himself in the role. You can't tell it's him. You look up on Google what Orlok looks like that, and they have like a bit like fan art where it's basically Bill Skarsgård with the bald cap and looking like Count Orlok from the original movie. The design of Count Orlok is in this movie is like probably one of the bravest things they've done, and I think it totally works with this vibe. The Count Orlok we get with the bushy mustache, and he's basically is a rotting corpse, and they really pull it off, especially with the final shot of the film, which I won't give away. Willem Dafoe's in it. He's kind of like a Van Helsing character, but kind of not. He has like a different role than you would see with a Van Helsing type, but he's new to this story. It didn't exist in the other Nosferatu films, but I think he adds a lot to it. With a lot of the characters, it's like they don't believe Ellen Hunter, the Lily Rose Depp character. And he's the one that's like listening to her, listening to what's going on. And that's like a major part of that second half of this movie where, listening to her, and Orlok brings this whole plague of, rats and everything upon the city. So his presence is infecting the entire city. And I talked about the first half, how much I loved it. Like this is the best Dracula adaptation ever. I think the second half, it did not sustain that same vibe. And it kind of slowed down a little bit. And one of the major parts of it were really slowed down is between Thomas Hutter, Nick Holt's character, Thomas Hutter, his escape, and night warning that Orlok gives Ellen. That whole in between, I think it really slowed the movie down. And I just don't feel it lived up to that just whole approach of Orlok's castle, and I just shocked how fucking good it was, and I still enjoyed the second half enough, but I feel it didn't really live up to the first half, which They should do something to change up the Dracula story for modern audiences. Not saying it should be taken present day or anything, but it always seems to be something that holds back these Dracula stories. And of course, the movie is super horny. I mean, it has to be, really. I mean, Dracula, it's like this romanticism of this zombie-like figure who has this supernatural, overwhelming power over this woman. Other adaptation that I really like is Francis Ford Coppola's Stoker's Dracula. It's also a very horny movie, so I mean, it's really just you get with this. But I actually feel like I need to watch this again because my theater experience is pretty terrible, but I still really liked it. I look forward to watching it again. Maybe even the extended version, which I've heard is coming out on Blu-ray. But overall, I would have to give Nosferatu 2024 4 out of 5 stars. I still really enjoyed it. That half blew me away, that first half. The second half, not so much. Could be due to the theater experience. I want to rewatch it and see. Maybe follow me on social media if I change my score. How do I compare this to Francis Ford Coppola's version? I really love Francis Ford Coppola's version. It's a lot of old techniques that they use for that film. I think the biggest flaw holding it back is Keanu Reeves' performance, but Francis Ford Coppola's slightly still edges out Nosferatu for me. And again, I feel like I need to rewatch Nosferatu as well, but I thought they were both fantastic adaptations. What did you think of Nosferatu? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, it really helps the channel. Subscribe, hit that bell icon if you want to watch more of these videos, and I'll see you later.